Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive bug. We haven't had a singular review on my channel for quite some time, so I want to change that. And I think it is a good opportunity to start with Downstation by Simon Morden. This is a book that was given to me kindly by NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, now let's talk about Downstation a little bit. Downstation is a portal fantasy. That means that people that live in our normal world go through a portal and end up in a secondary kind of fantasy world. This time around we're following two main characters. One is Mary, who works like on a cleaning crew in the London Underground, and she had a troubled childhood, was in an orphanage, then was always a little bit on the wrong side of the law, and so her whole life was more organized by other people so far. People from the orphanage, social workers, people from the justice system. So she often in her life she was just told what to do. The other main character we're following also works in the London Underground as a construction worker. It is Dalip. Dalip is from an Indian family. He is from the Sikh religion, and he tries to be like a very honorable and good person. It is very important for him to be like or follow his religious ideals of being a good person. And these are two of actually 7 people that are thrown into a kind of event where there happens to be like a huge explosion in the London Underground, and they are fleeing, and when they are like trapped in the fire they find a door and then go into the secondary world that is called Down. The story is told then from alternating chapters, always between Mary and Dalip. The other characters that are fleeing with them are secondary characters, but these are the 2 main ones. And if you know like video games or PC games in the last couple of years, there is like a huge, I think, rise up of titles that involve having a character in a survival kind of role-playing game where you're thrown into the world, you know nothing about the rules of the world, and you have to find shelter, build your tools, and see how to survive in the new world and to see what the world is throwing at you. And that is pretty much what happens in this world. They know nothing about Down. There are not many other characters or other people in there in the world, and it's interesting to see then what happens to people when they have nothing. And that is actually, I think, the main theme the book is about. How do you change? How do you adapt to a situation, and what does this do to the belief set you have? Are you willing to sacrifice some of your fundamental beliefs in order to survive? Are you willing and capable of the change that you need to survive? What are the things that you can retain from the way you perceive yourself? And I think that is more of the main focus of the book. So it is a character study of mainly Dalip and Mary, also of some of the other secondary characters, mainly Stanislav, who is like an older guy who is or who worked with Dalip in the beginning, and he is more of a survival kind of type, and he always seems to be the guy who makes the tough decisions and is criticizing Dalip for still trying to be like a good person. And that is, as I said, more of the main focus. There is a plot going on, of course, but I had the feeling that for my taste that plot had a bit of a secondary role, and this was more of a character study. So overall, the world building, as it is more like we learn something as we go, is not that in-depth, and it mainly caters toward that character study. So if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the portal fantasy element, because I really like just to have a secondary world with its own rules and not characters coming with our preconceptions into another world. And I usually like stories that are a bit more like epic, a bit bigger. The whole story is very much focused on these two characters. So for me, in the end, that was a read that I don't regret. It was an enjoyable read. It has a very open ending. I don't know if it is going to be a series. As of now, I had the feeling it was meant to be a standalone. So there are some questions that aren't answered in this book. And as I said, it was enjoyable, but I don't think that will be a book at the end of 2016 I will mention as one of my top reads of the year. So, these are my thoughts regarding Downstation by Simon Morden. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye!